I'm Delaney Kelly, and I'm a senior on Trinity's women's golf team.
Hi, I'm Anton Noble, a junior tight end for the Trinity football team.
Hi, I'm Caleb Harmel, a sophomore linebacker for the Trinity football team.
I'm Bryce Pigeon, a senior on the Trinity golf team.
My name is Carly Jones. I'm a senior second baseman for the Trinity softball team.
Hi, I'm Emma Funk, a junior middle blocker for the Trinity volleyball team.
Hi, I'm Tyler Peavy, a graduate senior on the Trinity men's basketball team.
Hi, I'm Neil Verwillow, a senior left back on the Trinity men's soccer team.
Hi, I'm Brian Cardone, a senior right-handed pitcher and utility infielder for the Trinity baseball team.
Hi, I'm Madison Horner, a junior midfielder for the Trinity women's soccer team.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Hi, I'm Mabel.
I'm Shamsi.
And I'm Casey, and we're part of the Trinity swim and dive team.
Hey, I'm Annie Wise.
I'm Julia Ackerman.
And I'm Jordan Rudd.
And we're members of the Trinity University women's basketball program.
Hi, I'm Wilson Hamilton, a senior captain for the Trinity men's tennis team.
I'm Christian Settles, junior captain for the men's tennis team.
Hi, I'm Mary Captain.
I'm Annie Wise.
I'm Zoe Captain.
And I'm Megan Flores.
And we are members of the Trinity University women's tennis program.
Hi, I'm Trinity Lemons, a senior sprinter and jumper for the Trinity track and field team. I'm super excited to share with you an important event that we're promoting. It's called the Trinity Buddies United as One fundraiser.
All of our Tiger sports teams are competing on the court or in the field this spring, but we're also competing to see which team can raise the most money for disadvantaged families in the surrounding school districts.
We'd love your support in trying to reach our goal of $11,000. So you can check out our social media for ways to donate, including this Venmo.
You can also buy exclusive Trinity Buddy bracelets for $5 as a part of the fundraiser. Make sure when you Venmo to add what color you want and which team it's going towards. Thank you so much for your support.
Go Tigers!
Thank you for your support.
Go to you!
Go Tigers!
Thank you for your support and go Tigers!
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much for your support. Go Tigers!
Well, good evening and welcome to Trinity University here in San Antonio, Texas. And we are back for the 2021 version of Trinity University Baseball as we will host the Howard Payne Yellow Jackets here in the home opener. And it has been almost an entire full year since we were last here at Trinity. And what a crazy year it has been. I'll be joined by Ryan Figert. And Ryan, your thoughts on the Yellow Jackets as we start to take a look at their starting lineup?
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going, Josh? Excited to be here. We get to look at the starting lineup for the Yellow Jackets. Guilford, the first baseman, will lead off. Trevor Fletcher, the DH, hitting second. Joey Villarreal, the shortstop, third. Nolan Box had a good game against the University of St. Thomas in their season opener. He's the cleanup hitter. Jonathan McKay, Riley McGee in the middle of the lineup. And 7, 8, and 9 is Luke Brock, David Paleo, and Gage Keat. The Yellow Jackets, led by head coach Stephen Lynn, who's got the team back and firing after quite a few years out of the ASC tournament. They've qualified for 5 of the last 6 conference postseasons, a program on the up, Josh.
Yeah, a team that was starting to make some headway. They took the season series from East Texas Baptist last year and had some up and down. So already 0-1 on the year, but that was a shortened 4.5 inning affair against St. Thomas, a member of the SCAC. We'll take a look at the Tigers roster here with a lot of notable faces, a lot of guys that feel like they've been here for almost a decade. Michael Herrera will start off at shortstop. Jack Wisniewski will play third base. MJ Metz is injured today. Center fielder batting third, Mason Meredith. And Michael Goodrich will be batting in the cleanup spot as the designated hitter. Jack Vonderhaar, who basically led the Tigers in hitting in 2020, only played 13 games, but that was a third of a season. He will bat fifth. Tyler Pettit will be behind the dish. Rafe Shamet will bat seventh. Brian Schaub, a transfer from Richmond, will bat eighth and start in left field. And Wisniewski, who we normally start at second base, he will play over at third, so Colt Harris will get the start batting ninth. And on the mound will be James Natoli, the San Antonio native, as he will get us going here for the 2021 season. Glad to have everybody with us as we are making our way through all of the 18 sports here in the spring season.
Yeah, it's a hectic one on campus, but exciting nonetheless. A lot of the Trinity teams leading their conferences are doing well in their only meet, in the example of swimming and diving and cross country. So it's been fun, and we're excited for one of our premier programs, baseball, to get underway here tonight. Leading off for Howard Payne, Derek Guilford went 1 for 2 with an RBI in the season opener. Like you mentioned, that shortened affair against St. Thomas. Natoli will wind and deliver, and the first pitch of 2021 for Trinity Baseball is right down the middle for strike. Natoli, I believe, in his 5th year on campus, and that doesn't include a year spent at the University of Texas before transferring, using that extra year of eligibility granted to all athletes because of COVID. And technically, Josh, this season doesn't count either.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real interesting to see where everybody winds up as we move forward into 2022. But I will say, I think most people are saying, let's enjoy 2021 and see if we can't get through it first. As you see Gifford's stats, hitting 500 on the year. Again, they played one game. They lost to St. Thomas, but Gifford hitting 500 with an RBI and a really respectable on-base plus slugging.
He's going to go down swinging here, and the Tigers are going to have to make sure, throwing it over the first for out number 1. Vonderhaar catches, and James Natoli, who averaged a strikeout per inning last year, gets his strikeout against the first batter he faces in 2021.
Yeah, nice job by Pettit to keep that in front of him. And we saw a lot of good things from Natoli. A fantastic start against Concordia early going 2020 season. Of course, Concordia had just been to the Super Regional.
Yeah, and a team that Trinity will face a few times this year as well. Those will be exciting matchups between the ASC and the SCAC.
And we'll see a lot of those ASC SCAC matchups in the non-conference seasons as teams looking to keep travel restricted as much as possible, but still have plenty of teams here in the state of Texas that they can reach out to.
Yeah, Trinity usually a team that likes to play out-of-state opponents, regionally or nationally ranked teams. They've only played 6 games against the ASC over the last 2 seasons, undefeated 6-0 in those matchups. So that bodes well for a SCAC and ASC heavy schedule this year. Natoli with the 2-1 comes in high. And he is behind in the count for the first time here with 1 away in the first. The 3-1 hit out into left field, and this one's going to get down and should be a 2-baser for Trevor Fletcher. Just going to be play at second base, and he is safe. Good effort, though, from the Tigers defensively and try and catch him on the base pass, but that's how you want to start the game if you're Trevor Fletcher. Double out into left field. Natoli now going to be forced to work with a runner on second. As you see him in the foreground of your screen. And Joey Villarreal coming to the plate, led the team in hitting last season. Hit .377 with 8 RBI. He's got a chance with a runner in scoring position here early on, sends this one to the shortstop. And it should be an easy play, but advances the runner to third now with 2 away. Michael Herrera getting that one done for Trinity defensively. He was a transfer last year for that season. We keep mentioning the season cut short, obviously, but he transferred in and got to just play the 13 games. Now excited for his first quote-unquote full season as a member of the Tigers. Digging in now, Nolan Box out of Frisco, Texas.
A couple of hits in the first game of the year for Box. And looking to get an RBI with another hit here. Early going first inning. Tigers looking to get out of it.
Yeah, one of those hits was a double against the University of St. Thomas. He's behind in the count here, 0-1. Off-speed pitch just drops inside for Natoli. Evens the count. He's going to look at the thinned-out Tiger dugout behind Nolan Box. Quite a few of the Trinity players sitting out in the stands out of your picture for COVID protocols. Natoli deals just on the inside corner for strike 2. And, of course, no spectators allowed in for today's game or, indeed, all season. Of course, disappointing for Tiger fans, but we hope you'll join us for each and every home game here on the Tiger Network. Chance to end the inning here for Natoli. The 1-2 comes off the bat foul. And so Box stays alive. He's got a runner on third, a chance to maybe get the early lead for Howard Payne.
Box is able to reach. It'll be McKay waiting on deck.
Natoli into the set. Long pause. And he comes in, looking for that inside corner once again. Umpire shakes his head. It's 2-2. The 2-2 fouled off once again as Nolan Box stays alive here. Making Natoli work to get out of the first. He comes and deals with the 2-2. Comes in high. The count runs full for the senior on the mound. one of many Tiger players listed as a redshirt senior coming back for a 5th year. The payoff pitch. Fouled off once again. So we're nearing a 10-pitch at bat here for Nolan Box.
Yeah, 10 pitches just to Box, and it's only up to 18 overall in the first inning now.
Once again, the 3-2 pitch is fouled straight back. 19 pitches now for Natoli, which won't be too big of a concern for him. He'll have a fresh arm, and he's used to going deep into games. Not to say that the Tigers don't have plenty of options in the bullpen, including returning all-region selection Corey Cater. Natoli to Box. And this one's sent out into left field. We'll see if it can stay fair. Looks to be comfortably foul in the end. Pitch number 12 to Box. He just won't strike out. He won't go away here for Natoli. Doing well just to make contact with every delivery so far from the Tiger senior. Here comes once again. This one hit out into shallow right field. Make it center field and make it deep center field for Mason Meredith, who does eventually help James Natoli retire the side. There was one hit that came from Fletcher, the double. But the Yellow Jackets go quietly here in the first. Mason Meredith with the final putout. We'll be right back with you for the bottom half of the inning when we see the Tiger bats for the first time this year. Herrera, Wisniewski, and Meredith for Trinity here in the bottom of the first, and they'll be facing sophomore pitcher Richard Mays, who is a transfer from the Beavers of Pratt Community College, where he spent a couple of seasons. Graduate of Euless Trinity High School. And facing redshirt senior Michael Herrera here, the Tiger shortstop digs in for the first time. Watches that one go by, catches the outside corner for strike one. Mays in his 2 seasons amassed 18 appearances, 8 starts, and was 2-2 in his career with the Beavers. It's the 0-1. It is hit out into right field by Herrera. This one's a line drive, and it's dropped by Brock. An error there for Howard Payne, and not someone that you want on the base pass. Michael Herrera, always a threat to steal a base. Made good contact there, but it was shot right at Brock, who just couldn't bring it in. And Trinity's number 3 finds himself on first base. Back to Mays. He had a .675 ERA, gave up 4 home runs, and really struggled at times with walks for the Beavers. Had 27 walks to 28 strikeouts in his career for Pratt Community. As Jack Wisniewski digs in here. Playing third base today, batting from the left side. And I think at long last correcting us on how to say his last name after a couple of seasons of calling him Wisniewski. Now we know. Wisniewski. Pausing his windup, and he shoots this one towards the second baseman, and it's bobbled initially, and the throw's not in time. We'll see how that one's scored. I didn't get a good look at the initial attempt on the ball. But either way, 2 on base for Mason Meredith. Tiger center fielder had the put out to in the top of the first. And in the 13 games of last season, was averaging .358 with 1 homer and 10 RBI. He's hitting in the 3 spot for a reason. One of the Tigers' most productive hitters over the past few years. He's going to get a quick talking to here, as there's a brief conference at the mound for Howard Payne. Riley McGee behind the plate, discussing with Ricky Mays how they want to deal with the all-SCAC outfielder, from 2019. Squares around to bunt, pulls back as that one came in inside. Runners on first and second here for Meredith. Check of the runner at second. And Mays comes and deals. That one doesn't catch the inside corner. Now 2-0 behind in the count. Opportunity for Trinity to jump out to an early lead here with no outs and already 2 runners on base. This one skied by Meredith into the gap in right field, easily brought in, and the runners are going to stay in their places. Now 1 away, and Michael Goodrich comes to the plate. If you're curious, both of the first 2 batters for Trinity now considered reaching on errors by right field and second base.
flyout, that'll mean everything from henceforth will be unearned if the Tigers are able to scratch across any runs.
They like their chances with this guy at the plate. Goodrich, designated hitter today. He's been a catcher throughout his Tiger career. The Arizona native takes ball 1. Played 12 games in 2019 and was hitting .318, 10 walks, 10 RBI, and 1 homer. He's got some of the best power in the Trinity lineup, 18 career home runs. Looking for his 100th career RBI. Good opportunity here as he fouls it off. Pitch came in low from Mays. Sent down the first base line by Goodrich. Mays again checks Herrera at second. Long look at the Tiger shortstop and comes and deals inside and high. 2-1 now. Mays gets a swing and a miss there. And the count runs even at 2-2. Trinity coming into this season technically still the reigning SCAC champions, as they took the SCAC tournament in 2019 and it wasn't held, of course, in 2020. Our friends on the D3 baseball pod claiming that COVID was the conference and national champion last year.
COVID won a lot of conference championships last year.
And as they also said, we hope they don't repeat.
It's very hard to repeat, and we hope that that is the case going forward.
Full count here for Goodrich.
Yeah, the national tournament looks to be a very interesting one if we can get that far. Possibility of no at-large bids.
Yeah, and the possibility of no SCIAC teams as well, including defending champions Chapman. Here's the payoff pitch, and Goodrich sends this one out into right field. Going back is Brock, and it's the catch made by McKay, the center fielder. Herrera will tag and easily reach third, so now runners on the corners with 2 away for Jack Vanderar. Can't be understated how effective he was last season, Josh, even in a short period of time.
Yeah, he led the team in batting average, runs, doubles, triples. Not bad.
Especially for a player who, was streaky prior to that season. He would come in for a few games, hit a few home runs, impress, and drop out of the lineup for a while, such as the depth of this Trinity team. But he looks to, at least from the start of this season, have earned a bigger role for Coach Tim Scannell. Chance to help Trinity to a first inning lead.
The junior once again out of Washington State.
I have to say, I do applaud Jack and any of the players out there wearing any form of mask. I don't know how you do it, sitting in there trying to see the pitch. I struggle to see anything out of my mask, Josh. Peripheral vision and everything like that.
I was going to say, maybe he's just looking for a pitch that's up, because it's very hard to see anything down. A base hit should score a run.
Mays nods his head and comes again with the off-speed pitch. That one coming in low for ball 1.
And then Mays, much like Natoli, looking to work out of a early jam and finish the half inning without giving up a run.
Long pause for Mays as he brings the 1-1. Vanderar swinging at a pitch low in the zone. And now he's behind in the count 1-2. you mentioned Vandar led the team. He had a .383 batting average, scored 15 runs, had 6 doubles, 4 triples in just 13 games. 4 triples really stands out. Impressive from him. Of course, the all-time Trinity triples leader, Rafe Chermet, batting in the 7-hole today. We'll see him later as Vandar gets a hold of this one, sends it out into shallow right field, and that'll get the Tigers the first run of 2021. An early lead for them, 1-0, as Herrera's plated on the Vandar single.
Yeah, Jack Vandar just picking up where he left off in 2020.
Look at the RBI single, just finds the hole, didn't get a ton of contact, and did just enough. Finds himself now on first base, Wisniewski on second, and Tyler Pettit at the plate. Tiger catcher digs in now with the lead.
I feel like Pettit was really starting to get into his groove when the season ended a year ago.
Yeah, he's been a beneficiary, or even the reason that they've moved Goodrich into the designated hitter role. Just how good his defense is. Before he played, he played a role, especially in double headers when he would relieve Goodrich behind the plate, and now he seems to have won that job working with the Tiger staff.
Yeah, the transfer 2 years ago from Incarnate Word.
Yeah, quite a few D1 transfers now in the lineup and on the pitching staff for Trinity as they look to retool year after year. This year they brought in 16 first-year players plus a couple of D1 transfers from the University of Richmond. As the 2-0 pitch is low, nothing for Pettit to swing at thus far. We'll see redshirt sophomore Brian Schwab later on in the Tiger lineup, and potentially Garrett Ayler, the lefty, out of the pen. Both coming from University of Richmond, former Spiders. It's got to be one of the coolest mascots in college baseball, as that's a 4-pitch walk for Tyler Pettit.
Definitely unique. And Mays wanting nothing to do with the RBI leader from a year ago. And the bases will be loaded as we'll get a mound visit.
And here comes 5th-year Rafe. Player that's built his own hype, really, with the performances that he's put in over his 4 years on campus. So exciting to have him and so many of these other seniors back once again to try and make a real run at it. The senior year Rafe hashtag taking over social media last year, Josh. Can only imagine a whole extra year under his belt.
Yeah, and senior year Rafe was a little slow to get going, but then once he did, it was look out, because he was fantastic towards the second half of that shortened season.
Yeah, finished with 11 RBI in 12 games after, like you mentioned, a couple of offers to start the season. Chance here with the bases loaded, and he takes it off the head. And, well, he earned it. He earned it. 2-0 lead now for Trinity. And we'll get a first look at Brian Schwab here in the first inning.
5th-year Rafe will have an RBI without having an official at-bat yet.
Starting to see some of the control issues that plagued Ricky Mays over his 2 seasons at Pratt. A walk and a hit batsman, leading to a run here, and leading to a first Trinity plate appearance for Brian Schwab. Famous number 42 on his back. That one's way outside from Mays. Schwab played 30 games for the University of Richmond, made 78 plate appearances, and had 15 hits, a couple of doubles, 6 homers, and 21 RBI as a Spider. 6 home runs stands out, especially against Division I pitching, Josh. A real power threat deep in the Trinity lineup. What better way to announce yourself, maybe? Bases loaded. 2-0 count now as Mays misses again.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Schaub here now, you can kind of sit back and wait, see if you get the pitch you want, or you can just keep the inning rolling along. The Tigers are in the 8th spot. First year Colt Harris waiting on deck would be the entire lineup through if he's able to come to the plate.
Mays deals the 2-0. Again, similar spot outside. And now he's really behind in the count. We'll see if Schaub has the green light here.
4-pitch walk to Pettit, plunked Rafe. Now 3-0 to Schaub. And we were looking at the lineup earlier with Rafe batting 7th. And you maybe have a few questions about that, but looking at the rest of the Tiger order, it's like, well, where do you bat him? I mean, everybody in front of him has a legitimate claim to be batting in the top 6.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide for opposition pitchers up and down the Trinity lineup, and, you know, players that will appear off the bench as well in pinch hitting situations. With experience and pedigree to their name as well. As here comes the 3-1, and that's low, and Schaub gets an RBI on a base on balls. 3 straight walks for Ricky Mays and 3 runs for Trinity in the first inning. Another debutant comes to the plate now, Colt Harris. A first year out of Katy, Texas, graduate of Houston Christian High School. Stand in here in the right-hand batter's box at 5'11", 180. Same spot for Mays, down and away for ball 1. Just 1 strike out of the last 10 pitches now for the Yellow Jackets. Long pause for Mays, leg kick, and fires it in for a strike. Colt Harris not bothered, just going to make him throw strikes here.
The Tiger hitter's pretty patient. That's exactly the type of thing that you need.
And patient here for Colt Harris leads to a shot at the second baseman, and that will end the inning as Harris' first collegiate at bat leads in a ground out. But not before Trinity plates 3 runs in the first, as it was a struggle for Ricky Mays late on in the inning. He gets out of it just 3 runs against, and the Yellow Jackets will come back to the plate here in just a moment. You're watching the Tiger Network. Jonathan McKay for the Yellow Jackets here now find themselves trailing 3-0 after Trinity plates 3 in the bottom of the first. Natoli's first delivery fouled off. University of St. Thomas was able to get off to a quick start as well against the Yellow Jackets. In that season opener, they scored 8 runs in the first 3 innings, never looked back. As McKay takes ball 1 there. Sophomore out of League City, Texas. He was 2 for 2 with an RBI double and a walk against St. Thomas, as that one's high and inside for Natoli. Trinity have won the last 3 season openers. Looking to do the same today. Already off to a good start. Their last loss in such an occasion was in 2017, as this one's shot out into left field. And the catch is made by Schaub. First defensive action for the left fielder. That last loss came against UT Tyler and now moved on to Division II, I believe, right, Josh?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, UT Tyler Division II, and thanks for bringing me back in. Schaub momentarily getting that one lost in the lights, but he recovered nicely.
Swing and a miss for strike 1 for McGee. Catcher digs in for the Yellow Jackets, who, unlike my alma mater, Rockwall, actually wear yellow. Rockwall High School wearing orange. JFND. This one popped out into center field, and Shamet coming in and unable to make the play. I'll tell you, this cameraman's got me on skates, Josh. Center field, right field. We'll get there eventually.
I will say, it is tough trying to track a ball down from the right field line. But a nice bit of hitting by McGee.
Yeah,
a couple of hits on the season now.
Harris going out, trying to make the play. Shamet racing in, drops in between the right fielder and second baseman. Second hit of the evening for Howard Payne. Natoli now dealing to Luke Brock, the right fielder. First one is in there for a strike. Big swing and a miss that time for Brock. Now 0-2. Natoli gets about a strikeout per inning over his career with Trinity. Looking to do it in 3 pitches here against the first year out of College Station. Comes in high. 1-2. Tiger fans will be excited not just to have baseball back, but because their team generally is a very hot starter, regardless of the opposition, as the 1-2 is fouled off. Usually facing some powerhouses and out-of-conference teams that come into play over the last 2 years. Last year starting on an 8-game winning streak, and the year before that starting the season 12-3. And often not looking back, Josh.
Yeah, they like to give some runs, but more importantly, they've been facing a lot stiffer competition early on. And I think that has been key, I think, not just for an early start, but maintaining that success throughout the year. As we know that Division III, sometimes you can have a stellar record and still not be invited to the party at the end of the year.
Natoli gets a swing and miss for the strikeout here. Now 2 away in the second. There's a season a couple of years ago where Trinity just didn't have the strength of schedule that they would have liked. And I think in response to that, Coach Scannell has been scheduling as difficult opponents as he possibly can over the past few years. This year, of course, with restrictions, meaning we're only playing Texas schools. That means Concordia, that means TLU will be some of the more notable names on the schedule. Trinity picked as favorites to hold on to their SCAC championship this year, just ahead of TLU. Solid contact here made by Paleo, and that one will drop down ahead of Schaub. No play at third base. Runners on the corners now once again with 2 away. See that one just comfortable for Paleo, the third baseman. Sent it out into the left field gap.
Yeah, he didn't try to overhit that, just kind of threw it out into the gap. Rewarded with a double, and now opportunity to tie with a home run, but more importantly, a single will cut this lead significantly.
Gage Keat, the one tasked with doing so here with 2 away. Didn't appear in the season opener for the Yellow Jackets. Big opportunity for him. He takes ball 1 high and inside from Natoli. Keat, another first-year player in the lineup for the Yellow Jackets out of Wimberley, Texas. And this one comes off the handle of the bat. Should be playable for Herrera. And he does make the sliding grab to end the inning. So Natoli, once again, works out of a jam as the Yellow Jackets strand 2 on this sliding play by Michael Herrera. 3-0 Trinity. Will be right back with the bottom of the second. You saw the lovely full moon here in San Antonio. An excellent evening for baseball after what was a, quite frankly, horrible week weather-wise here in Texas. Love to just stand outside. 74 degrees, clear night. Not much more you can ask for here for the season opener for Trinity, Josh.
I mean, started the broadcast showing a video of all the snow that we had, and just, even if you like snow, that was pretty brutal in parts of Texas, so we'll be glad to not see that again for a while.
Yeah, I like snow. I do like having power in my house a little more, I think. I've learned.
Power's all good. Well, it feels like deja vu as we start the second inning here with the leadoff man, Michael Herrera.
Been involved defensively as well as getting on base his first time up. Reaching on an error out in right field. Mays keeps his place on the mound for the Yellow Jackets, of course. Gave up 3 in the first inning, a couple of walks, and a hit batter as well. Just thrown 30 pitches with this coming delivery. And Herrera can't sell that one to the umpire. So Mays gets the advantage in the count now, 1-2.
Herrera reached on an error but came around and scored. Officially 0 for 1.
And he watches that one go by in the left-handed batter's box. Now the count even at 2-2. Herrera hit .349 last year, scored 13 runs, and drove home 8, including on 3 home runs. And he gets a hold of this one, sends it out into right field. Should be playable and is for Brock, who redeems himself slightly after dropping Herrera's effort towards him in the first inning.
Yeah, disastrous start for Howard Payne, but it looks like they're settling in nicely. It's unfortunate because when you have to play a team as historically good as Trinity's been, you can really afford 0 letdowns in your game. And they're already behind 3. But, I mean, 3's not necessarily something that can't be overcome. But Howard Payne getting out behind St. Thomas in their first game, out behind Trinity, kind of hope that that's not the beginning of a pattern for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, they did plate 5 in just 4.5 innings against the Celts in their season opener, and they averaged 6 runs a game last season.
Yeah, so right around their normal total. And considering that they only played a 4.5 inning game, that would maybe say they've got a little bit more offense than they did a year ago.
Operating on small sample sizes here, not only early in this season, but last season as well. As Wisniewski takes the 1-1, swings and misses, 1-2. Mays settling in here on the mound for the Yellow Jackets in the second inning. That one comes in at the letters for Wisniewski. Count even at 2-2. Talking again on the Tiger lineup, it's like Wisniewski and Chomet may be interchangeable, the 2 lefties, 2nd and 7th in the lineup, and we'll see, going forward in the next few games if Coach Scannell does rotate people around or if keeps things as they are here to start the season. Plenty of versatility, not only with the guys in the lineup today, but the guys off the bench as well.
In Jack's last game last year, he had some pretty good fireworks for the Tigers, hitting a late home run to help bring them back and force extra innings, and then hit a second of the day in extras for the walk-off.
One of a couple fun walk-off home runs we've had in the past few seasons. He dribbles this one towards the shortstop, and Villarreal makes no mistake. 2 away now for Trinity in the second inning. Of course, thinking about that famous Mason Meredith walk-off grand slam a couple seasons ago against Hardin Simmons. Still got to be one of the most fun moments I've got to be on the call for the past couple of years of Trinity sports.
Yeah.
And it was this man right here, Mason Meredith.
Yeah, that one I think even more memorable for the fact that Trinity had given up quite a few runs in the top of the 10th inning and able to load the bases and complete it with a grand slam walk-off. And I believe that was also Meredith's second home run of that game as well.
Yeah, into the game with 8 RBI, his career high. Mays comes and deals. 2-0 count now as that one bounces before it reaches McGee. Goodrich waits on deck.
Meredith flew out in his first at-bat, so technically Tigers' 1-2-3 hitters are now 0 for 5 combined. And make it 0 for 6.
I won't speak too soon, as Howard Payne had some defensive difficulties in the first inning, but not so this time out. They go 1-2-3 as Villarreal gets a couple of putouts, and the Yellow Jacket Bats will be right back in just a moment.
as we get ready for the top of the third inning. The line score having some issues there. It's only 3-0. Southwestern series. It's going to be a 4-game series and a little bit of travel back and forth for both squads. We're going to have a home game on February 26th. That one's set for a 7 o'clock start. And then a doubleheader up in Georgetown. And then Sunday, we'll be back here for a 2 o'clock start, I believe. And, 2 o'clock start on Sunday. And then next Tuesday, Tigers will head over to Abilene and take on Hardin Simmons. Cowboys that we were just talking about. Mason Meredith knows them well.
Top of the order here for Howard Payne in the third inning, who are actually out hitting Trinity so far. 3 for 9 start for the Yellow Jackets, first time through the order. Trinity 1 for 11. It's about the errors and the walks as Trinity has a 3-0 lead and a new man on the mound, Caden McGahan, who was excellent last season. 4 appearances, 1 start, but was 3-1 with a .96 ERA. As Coach Scannell and pitching coach Dave Smith look to get a couple of different guys action here in the season opener. Natoli exits untouched. The 3 hits against him. He was able to keep the Yellow Jackets off the scoreboard. McGahan in his second season for Trinity, technically still a redshirt freshman. Had 20 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings last year. And adding him into the rotation with Corey Cater, Natoli, as this one is sent skyward into left field, running down the line, coming onto it, and making the catch is Schaub for 1 out here in the third. Trinity also adding Garrett Ayler, the transfer, to their pitching staff, which seems to be continuously improving under Coach Smith. There's a sliding grab there made by Schaub. This one right back up the middle, and it's going to sneak through the infield for a base hit. You saw McGahan kind of stab back and try and make the play himself. It was a well-positioned ground ball despite not having a ton of power on it. And that'll be the first base runner against Caden McGahan. Fletcher, who had the double in the first inning, now 2 for 2 on the day. He's on first with 1 away in the third. Joey Villarreal, the shortstop, digs in. Leading hitter a season ago.
Grounded out to his counterpart, Herrera, back in his first at-bat.
It's a Howard Payne team that's a lot younger than the Trinity lineup today. They graduated 8 guys last year, and the only one that came back and is rostered this season is pitcher Xavier Haynes, who was 3-0 with a 3.06 ERA last year. And it seems to be a common theme across Division III rosters that either everybody came back or pretty much nobody came back. And you're going to be looking a lot younger this season. But there's all kinds of roster oddities, of course, made by the eligibility rules, transfers, all sorts.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of transfers. I think we're going to see a lot of transfers continue over the next few years as well. And I think some of the other things that are interesting, you mentioned whether or not teams had seniors come back, and the guys on the podcast about D3 baseball kind of mentioned it as well in their West Preview episode, that you're going to see certain areas with disproportional amounts of seniors that come back.
McGahan gets the strikeout there, 2 away.
And a lot of teams that are really good, that have a lot of talent and a lot of really good seniors that are still around, but particularly teams that have grad programs or the ability to play as a fifth year are going to be able to retain those players a lot longer than, say, a school that's only a 4-year liberal arts college, maybe up in the Northeast or Northwest or something like that, where they can't continue to play on because they've already basically graduated. So they're taking D1 transfers going to play elsewhere.
Interesting dynamics, not only athletically but academically for a lot of these players as they choose to use that extra year or two of eligibility or not. 2 away here in the third for McGahan. Fletcher's on first base. Nolan Box is in the batter's box.
I'll see if McGahan can get Box settled without having to throw 2,500 pitches.
Yeah, Box worked
13 pitches.
13 pitch at bat the first time up.
Against
Fletcher steals second there on the pitch that came in high from McGahan. Runner now in scoring position for the Yellow Jackets. Advantage in the count for Box at 2-0.
Fletcher, you see in the corner of your screen, he's 2 for 2, batting .600 on the year. And that one sent over to short. And Herrera's going to just knock it down, but there's not a play to be made.
Yeah, tough one there for the shortstop who's seen a lot of action early on in this game. Didn't get a clean take on it. And there's runners on the corners now, 2 away.
So the base hit for Box, and he'll be 1 for 1. Or excuse me, 1 for 2.
Quick visit for pitching coach Dave Smith in his 19th season as a part of the coaching staff on campus. Been 6 All-American pitchers for Trinity under his tutelage. An excellent pitcher himself for Trinity from 99 to 02 and a 24-7 career record on the mound. Top 10 in pretty much all the major stats pitching-wise. Program history. He's had an even bigger impact as a coach over the years. Josh, what do you expect the content of that discussion was there with McGahan with runners on the corners and 2 away?
If it's anything like Dave's typical speech, it'll just be something as settle down and just worry about the next guy at the plate and throw strikes.
And he was able to do so there as McKay, who flew out his first time up, swings and misses on McGahan's first offering towards him. Center fielder looks at strike 2 over the outside part of the plate. And McGahan in a commanding position here against the Yellow Jacket center fielder.
Fly out to left in his first at bat.
This one's going to be on the ground, sent towards Jack Vonderar, who steps on the bag. And once again, Trinity able to get out of a bit of a jam here in the third. 2 more runners left on base for the Yellow Jackets as they struggle to take advantage of a couple of hits. It's still 3-0 Trinity, and the bats come back up in just a moment. Ricky Mays continuing to work for the Yellow Jackets here into the bottom of the third, where he'll face the middle of the order. Goodrich, Vonderar, and Pettit due up for Trinity, who are just batting 1 for 9 so far in the opening couple of frames. A couple of walks and a hit by pitch helped them to build this 3-0 advantage early on. This first offering from Mays is low for ball 1. You look up and down the Tiger roster, you just see experience and pedigree. As Goodrich, one of the 5-year players back this season. The lineup reads senior, senior, junior, senior, 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 and rounded out with a transfer sophomore and the true freshman, Colt Harris. Ricky Mays is able to get the call there from the umpire. 2-1 now. So many of the Tiger players in their 5th or even 6th season of collegiate baseball. Surely the experience will be telling as Goodrich sends this one down the line in right. This one going back, and it hits the base of the wall for Goody. He's rounding first base, looking for 2. And he'll have a stand-up double to start us off here in the bottom of the third. Seen that before from Trinity's number 22. So he grabs 2 bags here. Sends this one all the way to the base of the wall. Picked up by Brock and fired into the relay man. No play at second base. Brings up Jack Vonderar. Grabbed his first RBI on the single that just squirted through the infield. Runner in scoring position here for him once again. Check of the runner for Mays. That one comes low and inside. Howard Payne, a team that struggled on their travels over the past couple of seasons, a 7-11 record in what was a very successful 2019 campaign for Coach Lynn's team, and a 5-7 away record last year in the COVID-shortened season. Vonderar fouls this one back, 1-1. Trinity playing a considerable amount of away games this year compared to home games. As last year it was supposed to be the opposite, and indeed it was the opposite. Of the 13 games, 9 were played here on campus, and just 1 was away from home. A few neutral venue games as well. Didn't matter for Jack Vonderar. He batted extremely well across all the stadiums the Tigers visited. As that one comes in outside, 2-1 now. Goodrich on second after the leadoff double. May's going to step off here and rethink what he was about to do. Working righty against lefty. Taking the signs from McGee behind the plate. Hangs that one up high and outside, now behind in the count, 3-1. Seems to be very preoccupied with Michael Goodrich, who hasn't been a huge threat on the base paths. You know, maybe it's the base running glove he's got on the left hand, just intimidating Mays just a little bit. As Vonderar gets underneath this one, sends it into left field. Should be a comfortable play for Box, and it is. Brings it in, and Goodrich stays on second base as expected. Vonderar now 1 for 2. Brings up Tyler Pettit, who walked his first time up. 4-pitch walk. Didn't really get anything he would have even thought about swinging at. Operating here with 1 away and a runner on second. Goodrich does go here, down to third base. The pitch is a strike, and Goodrich is safe at third. And just as I was tongue-in-cheek about the designated hitter tonight and his speed, proves me wrong and uses that glove on the left hand to good effect here, except, well, he slid in feet first. Either way, no real play as McGee fired down to Paleo, and now Goodrich just 90 feet away. And the pressure of Goodrich being 90 feet away already playing into the mind of Mays as he and McGee tracked down that ball as it popped away from the catcher. And the only strike that Pettit has seen today, he was forced to leave as he had the runner going. That one comes in high, and McGee needs to be extra sharp here as Goodrich awaits any potential wild pitch or pass ball. The Tigers' own catcher standing in for the home team. Mays comes and deals. Way off speed that time, way inside. And it's now 3-1.
Definitely not getting a lot to hit so far.
Here comes the 3-1 from Mays, and that one's going to find the outside part of the plate. That was one that Pettit maybe would have thought about swinging at, but he hasn't seen a ton of those, as you mentioned, from Mays.
Yeah, a very patient hitter here, and even early on in the season, you like to see it. Looking for something in his wheelhouse that he can pull and drive. We saw a bunch of that last year.
Payoff pitch here is pulled down the line, but it goes foul. We'll do it again.
Yeah, Mays able to just take a little bit off of that.
Once again, the 3-2 offering, and that one hangs up for Pettit as he shoots it out into deep center field. This should be enough to score the runner, and there's not even going to be a play here as Goodrich trots home to add the 4th for Trinity, a product of his own good base running.
Yeah, not much McKay could do with that one. Give up the run and the sac fly for Pettit.
Got the job done, but he'll leave the bases empty for Rafe Chamet, who saw one pitch. Well, I don't even know if he saw it. He turned around and took it to the top of the head. But as you can see, 1 RBI and technically no plate appearances. He sees this one, and he sees it well, drives it into left center field. And that is the first hit of the season for Rafe Chamet, and he pushes for 2. He gets 2.
Fifth-year Rafe will not be denied extra bases this year.
Yeah, we saw a lot of singles from Rafe last season. A lot of them leading to RBIs, but he came firing out of the blocks. Yeah, a lot of triples as well from the all-time triples leader for Trinity.
But a surprising amount of singles and looking to push forward more. And that was a nice job because that probably should have been a single. And nice to see him
firing out of the blocks there.
Push it around for 2.
And that gives Brian Schaub a chance with a very capable runner in scoring position. Already one RBI to his name after he walked in the first inning. Chance to further extend the lead for Trinity here in the third. That one just misses inside for ball one.
Mentioned some of the power that he displayed at Richmond. Interestingly enough, Richmond, we've got 2 transfers from Richmond. Richmond took a look at the Division III players who had graduated transferring on to Division I, and Richmond taking 4 Division III players who had already graduated, played 4 years in Division III, and taking 4 players to add to their roster for this year.
And it just goes to show, you know, the best Division III players are at that level of Division I, and they do compete, and many of them go on to be successful at that level. And, you know, sometimes the Division I experience isn't what players are looking for. It isn't what they expected, and they drop down to Division III, get to focus on their school maybe a little bit more, and they still get to compete at a high level. And we've seen that time after time here at Trinity especially. So that one's way wide for 3-0 now.
3rd round pick a year ago out of Chapman. And a couple of years back, Bruce Maxwell going in the 2nd round. I think MIT also had a catcher go in the 2nd round of the Cubs a few years ago. Just because you're playing Division III, you're still going to be seen.
The 3-0 is low, and that's 2 plate appearances, 2 walks for Schaub.
Still waiting for his first official at bat as a Tiger, but already has an RBI from the last inning, or his first plate appearance.
And that'll be another opportunity for Colt Harris to extend the inning, something he wasn't able to do the first time up when he grounded out to the second baseman. His first collegiate at-bat. Got a chance here with Chamet on second and Schaub on first. On outside for ball one. 64 pitches now for Ricky Mays here in the third inning. Didn't appear in the season opener on the mound for the Yellow Jackets. The start was given to Bryant Chambers, the first-year pitcher, who went 4 1/3. That one's dropped momentarily by McGee. Quickly recovers, and the runners keep their places. Harris ahead in the count, 2-0. Long check of the runner for Mays. Comes and deals outside. No. Umpire gives him that one just on the corner of the plate. It's 2-1 now for Tiger's second baseman.
Some of the national baseball news that you may have heard over the past few days. A couple of things coming out of the Northwest. Bit of a talk that was given, but one of the things that was interesting to me was the fact that whether it be the minor league level or the major league level, within a couple of years, we are expecting to see an electronic strike zone. And it'll be really interesting to see how that goes.
3-1 count here for Harris. And he thought he had the walk, but Mays hit a very similar spot to the pitch that was given to him a moment ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that first one was a strike, I felt like that one probably should be as well. They looked almost identical.
So the runners will be in motion here with the full count and 2 away.
Of course, Harris thought it was a ball, so.
And that one certainly was a ball. That one looking for a similar area, but drops off the plate, and the bases will be loaded once again here for Trinity. And back to the top of the order as well for Michael Herrera. Reached on an error and flew out. to right field both times.
Good news for Mays here is that he's reached the 1-2-3 spot of the Trinity order, where the Tigers are 0 for 6.
Bad news is that he's facing Michael Herrera. And Herrera gets a hold of this one, chops it over to the shortstop, and the third baseman makes a play on it, steps on the bag, and the top of the Tiger order continues to struggle, Josh. They leave 3.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll take another look at the play that ended the inning. We do. We'll chop over to third. And just an easy play there for Paleo. And struggles continue for Michael Herrera, but we saw him get hot in 2020, and when he starts hitting the ball, it's going to be a big benefit for the Tigers. You see McGahan back out there for the next half inning. We'll be back in just a bit. Top of the fourth, and Riley McGee leading it off for Howard Payne. First pitch from McGahan will be down and away for ball 1. McGee with a single back in the second inning. He's 1 for 1 on the day, batting .667 on the year. Takes that one face high.
And Howard Payne continuing to hit pretty well. They're hitting .357 as a team so far, 5 of 14. Compared to Trinity's 3 of 13, but they haven't been opportunistic with runners in scoring position, just 1 of 5 so far in the game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, out hitting Trinity 5-3, and it, just I think it goes back those first 2 errors of the game defensively there for Howard Payne just allowed Trinity to get a little bit of momentum going.
McGahan doesn't get the benefit of the doubt there from the umpire, and it'll be a 4-pitch walk to start the inning for McGee.
Yeah, McGee on base for the second time. Follows up his base hit with a walk. That'll give way for Luke Brock.
Brock, one of the outfielders that did commit an error in the first inning. First year out of College Station. 0 for 1, struck out his first appearance. Sees that one low for ball 1. McGahan 5 pitches outside of the zone here to start the inning. That one
in for a strike.
Catches the outside corner.
Like Brock's missing a golden opportunity to wear number 20. So another L Brock in the majors for so long.
He wants to be his own L Brock, Josh. You have to give it to him.
Behind in the count, 1-2 with the runner on. Moving the runner across, getting a hit. Go a long way for him.
Again, bounces that one in. Had a little bit of a weird hesitation that we don't usually see in his windup that time. Probably contributed to the pitch ending up in the dirt. Looked more orthodox, and he was able to force a ground ball, and great play made by Colt Harris, and you see what it means to him. First time he's been really called into any serious action as the second baseman for Trinity, and he was able to take care of business, and that was not an easy play.
Take another look. full extension there. And able to get Brock by a half step.
We'll advance the runner for Howard Payne, now a runner in scoring position, with McGee on second base. You wouldn't expect McGee to be a stealing threat, although we saw Goodrich steal third in the bottom of the third, unexpectedly. And that one is lined into center field, and Meredith doing enough. He wanted a trademark diving, straightforward catch, but he just couldn't justify it.
So it was a little awkward for Meredith, but he did rob Paleo of his second hit of the day, and job done for Meredith.
You could tell he almost wanted it to have a little more flair. He wanted to lay out for it.
Yeah, game 1 of the year, and he's already looking for style points. Gage Keat, first year out of Wimberley, looking for his first hit.
Yeah, popped up with runners in scoring position, first time up. And watches that one go by for ball 1. Pitch number 29 for McGahan. After Natoli got the start and went 2 innings, didn't give up any runs clearly. That one in there for a strike from McGahan. Natoli final line was 2 innings pitched, 3 hits against, and 2 strikeouts, as we come to expect. Strikeout every inning for the Tiger senior. Got a 2-1 count here for Keat. Bounces in. Again, behind in the count now, 3-1.
Totally started the game with 2 innings, left with a 3-0 lead. McGahan entering in. Pitched 3rd inning and 2 outs here in the 4th. We might be seeing the last of McGahan with Keat at the plate here.
They've got a plethora of options amongst the Tiger pitching staff. We don't have any eyes in the bullpen to see if someone's warming up necessarily, but you want to see as many guys as you can, get them all humming early on in the season as McGahan hums that one past Keat for the strikeout to end the inning, as Howard Payne once again strands the runner in scoring position. They still haven't scored. They trail 4-0 here in San Antonio. You're watching the Tiger Network. New man on the mound for the Yellow Jackets, Ncaa Daniel. The first year, his first pitch is sent out into shallow center field, and the diving McKay sees it bounce past him, and this could be 3 bases here for Wisniewski, and he slides in ahead of the throw. A leadoff triple for Jack Wisniewski before he can even settle in here in the bottom of the 4th.
It's a really strong piece of hitting. We talked about his 2 home runs in his last game. Barrels that one out into center field. A good piece of running, now 1 for 3 on the day.
1 pitch and 3 bases for Wisniewski.
Look at the OPS going as well. Well, Meredith could use a little bit of the same magic. That's the first hit from a 1-2-3 hitter for the Tigers today, as Mays had held them to 0 for 7. That's Meredith with a runner 90 feet away.
Mays exits the game with 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of them earned. He walked 4 and hit 1. This one is hit by Meredith out into right. This could be enough to score Wisniewski. We'll see if they send him. And they do, and he's in there comfortably. So a sac fly for Mason Meredith, his first RBI of the season, and a 5-0 advantage now for Trinity. For Mays, just to finish up on him, so we get a replay of the sac fly from Meredith out into right field. He's done well in that he only gave up 3 hits in 3 innings, but it's the walks that killed him, as we saw in his stats from when he played for Pratt Community as a Beaver prior to heading to the Yellow Jackets program. Goodrich, 1 for 2 with a double to his name. Came around to score.
Opposite field double for Goodrich that basically landed at the base of the wall.
He stole third and reached on the sac fly. And he's ahead in the count here, 2-0 against Daniel, who I believe is appearing for the first time as a Yellow Jacket. No stats from last season. He's back for his 2nd year on campus.
And a double by Goodrich, number 27 in his career. He's also got a triple, and then he's got 18 home runs.
Out of curiosity, Josh, how many stolen bases before today?
Before today, 7, and 6 of those coming in the 2019 season.
See, I knew he wasn't a huge threat to run, but then he just went and ran.
Yeah, coming in, he was 7 for 12. Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Digs in here, ahead in the count 3-0, and he watches that one go by for a strike. Daniel keeps the pitch inside, but too far inside that time against Goodrich, who's sent over to first base, and the base on balls. And that will bring up Vonderhaar, 1 for 2 with an RBI so far tonight. You see action in the pen for the Yellow Jackets. See if we can see a number on the next delivery from potential reliever. Oh, Vonderhaar will block the view. The Washington native, 1 for 2, as I mentioned. Sees that one come in right at the belt. Strike 1 for Daniel. Von der Haar taps the plate twice. Daniel has a check of the runner at first base. Comes and deals. Another strike. Telling you, lower in the zone, Von der Haar. He will struggle just a little bit with the mask wearing, as much as we encourage it. Does have to play some factor here. Not that I've stood in the batter's box with a mask on. I just can't do daily tasks with a mask on sometimes. Von der Haar gets a piece of that one, stays alive.
There are times when it could be a struggle to walk.
Now that's just you, Josh.
Apparently just me. 2 little kids will do that to you.
Von der Haar behind in the count here, 0-2. Goodrich on first. 0-2 comes in high, and this should send Goodrich to second base. He advanced on his own merit. And last time he was on the base pass, this time by way of a pass ball. Tell you, the oven mitts, it's doing well for him on the left hand.
Goody was about 50-50 to dress for tonight. The first roster that we received yesterday, he was not on it, but making the appearance. Not quite Frazier coming back in for the Knicks, but not too far off.
Von der Haar fouls this one off towards the Trinity dugout. Making Daniel work here. Battling down in the count. Again, foul this one off. Jack Von der Haar staying alive. Making Daniel work. Daniel comes set. He brings the glove pretty high up. Just about near his nose before he comes and deals. Von der Haar seeing the ball, just hasn't timed it just right as of yet. A couple of foul balls in a row. And he sees that one way outside, that one in the right-hand batter's box. And it's 2-2, and there'll be a quick conference at the mound with McGee and Daniel. Von der Haar making life difficult here for the Yellow Jackets.
And Daniel's able to get ahead pretty easily so far, and he's just struggling with a closeout pitch.
Going to be a 2-2 delivery here from Saya Daniel. Dealing with number 22 on second base and Michael Goodrich. And Von der Haar able to check his swing that time. And the count runs full. Daniel at risk of losing this at bat after, like you mentioned, getting out to the early 0-2 lead. Check of the runner at second. And the payoff pitch is chopped off the check swing of Jack Von der Haar. There's still going to be a play at first base, and he easily beats it out. Didn't even need the head first slide. But I'll tell you, it did look good. And that will not only advance Goodrich, but put runners on the corners here for Pettit.
Take another look at it. It went out a lot further than I thought, and I think just looking at how late that throw comes in, pretty sure Paleo did not get it out of his glove cleanly. One down now for Pettit.
He did really well to work that at bat, despite the fact that the hit ends up coming off a check swing. Just shows the patience that he exhibited after going down in the count. Pettit now stands in. He's been patient at the plate. Already worked one walk. Got a sac fly as well in the third inning.
And in a position to get another one. Runners on the corners.
The 1-0. And he does send it skyward into the outfield. McKay is the on-rushing fielder for the Yellow Jackets. And that will plate Michael Goodrich for the 6th run for Trinity. A couple of sac flies now for Pettit.
Yeah, still 0 for 0, but he's got 2 RBI.
Not the only Trinity batter who's making an impact without any plate appearances. Schaub, the other one, waits on deck. Here's Rafe Chamet, who doubled, as well as took the hit by pitch for an RBI back in the first.
Slugging 200, perfect on base. 5th year Rafe looking good early on. Takes that one in at the knees, and it'll be ball 1. Other action going on in Division 3. It's just the ASC at this point. You've got Laterno over, taking the short drive over to Marshall and East Texas Baptist. It's 7-2 in the top of the 7th inning in favor of East Texas Baptist. And don't have a score, but McMurray traveling over to Angelo State. They were scheduled to play early on today. Birmingham Southern with a win earlier, 10-6 over Huntington. That'll get past McGee and allow Vonderhaar to take second.
Yeah, the ASC scheduling a lot of games and significantly earlier than some of the other conferences. At this point, the Yellow Jackets were expecting to have played already, I believe, 6 games. Of the 54 innings they had scheduled, they've only played 4.5 before today because of weather.
Yeah, a little bit of snow and ice will do that in Texas.
Daniel brings the 2-0, and Chamet brought a big swing and a miss.
Piedmont 15-1 over Oglethorpe earlier today. And mentioned East Texas Baptist up 7-2. They took game 1 earlier today, 9-0. North Carolina Wesleyan 10-8 over Ferrum. And Fisher 10-3 over Anna Maria.
6-0 here in San Antonio. Trinity with the lead. That one just misses, and Chamet with a advantage in the count now, 3-1, excuse me.
Yeah, nice pitch by Daniel, and it just did not get the inside corner.
Here is the 3-1, and Chamet gets a hold of it. He sends it into the gap, and that may score Jack Vonderhaar. We'll see if there's any play at the plate. There is not. It's a comfortable 7th run for Trinity, and it's the 2nd RBI for Rafe Chamet.
2 for 2 now on the day.
He's a player that's been on the All-American watch list for, I think, the last 3 seasons at least, ever since his heroics in the Cape Cod League a few summers ago. And off to a good start this season, looking to finally come good as an All-American potentially for Trinity.
That'll bring up Schaub. As you mentioned, still looking for his first official at-bat for the Tigers.
He's already got an RBI to his name and a couple of walks. Went to LaSalle College High School, which sent me for a few loops when I was getting ready for this game. I knew he was a transfer, so I started looking for LaSalle College, and it wasn't working. I eventually found out that he did come over from University of Richmond. Former Spider fouls this one off.
Some will keep the prep in there. So I don't know if LaSalle College prep or if it's just LaSalle College High School. Probably wondering, He's listed at 6 foot 210.
He fills out the jersey well, doesn't he, Josh? You can see why he had the 6 home runs that he did as a Spider. Sees that one come in above the letters, 2-1.
Seeing Shaw reminds me that we've got a programming alert for you. The football game against Hendricks that was lost due to the weather this past week, rescheduled for March the 6th. That'll be a 10 a.m. kickoff here from San Antonio. Football team going to be playing into March.
I also announced basketball extending the conference tournament format over 3 weekends. Means we might have the opportunity to host a couple of them here on the Tiger Network.
Yeah. Top seeds are going to host, and they're going to do each round one team at one venue. And instead of taking every team to one site, which seemed a little opportunistic, but I think it's just going to be a extended tournament. Should be fun. And, of course, basketball finding out that their NCAA championships were not going to exist midway through their season, and I think that's what led to the idea that they could take these next 3 weeks or the 3 weeks after the regular season ends and extend it out.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. It'll have a real playoff feel as the payoff pitch is on the way here to Schaub. Shamet will be on the move from first, and it comes inside. 3 at-bats, 3 walks for Schaub. And once again, Colt Harris going to get an opportunity here with a couple of runners on base.
Hey, once again comes up with 2 outs in the inning. Grounded out to second and then walked in his last plate appearance.
See conversation here with Shamet and the umpire, and looks like we're going to get a pitching change for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see who's on the mound to face off against Colt Harris in just a moment. Trinity 7, Howard Payne 0 on the Tiger Network. Preston Taylor on the mound for the Yellow Jackets. Slightly misleading there on the graphic. He has not yet made an appearance for Howard Payne. This will be his debut in blue and yellow, and he'll be facing off against another debutante tonight, Colt Harris.
No glitches on that one. He's 0 for 1. Ground out and then a walk.
There's a strange little conference there between McGee and Taylor before he even threw a pitch. Just wanted to get on the same page.
Yeah, I guess with the runner on second, you just want to make sure you've got your right signs. Chomet at second, Schaub over at first after his third walk of the evening. And Harris
takes ball one. Showed good patience last time up to work the walk. He's come up with 2 runners on and 2 away each of his first few appearances. See MJ Metz seated behind the plate, out injured today. Has given Harris the opportunity to play from the start as he sees that one bounce in the opposite batter's box. Chomet rushes back to second base. Be 2-0 here for Harris. Taylor, double take at Chomet, and just finds the zone that time. For strike number 1. And they're going to try and pick off Chomet here as Taylor spins and fires back to Keat. That was Villarreal actually taking the pickoff attempt. Chomet in plenty of time. Taylor comes and deals that one below the knee for ball 3. Trinity started the game with 3 in the first, added 1 in the third, and already have 3 here in the fourth.
And a balk. And so we can take another look at his motion. I didn't quite see it initially.
I think you can attribute that to Chomet living in the mind of the pitcher. They had already tried to pick him off once, and he's getting plenty of looks. And he gives the free base, or at least the advancing base, to the runners. Second and third now. And a 2-2 count for Harris. Now 3-2 count should be.
Yeah, full count, 2 outs for Harris.
Runners in motion here, and he makes contact, sends it into right field. Should be playable, and is for Brock, who brings it in and ends the inning. Not before Trinity's able to add 3 runs. They've now got 3 runs on 6 hits, or excuse me, 7 runs on 6 hits, and they've left 6 on base. We'll be right back with you for the 5th inning. You're watching the Tiger Network. Top of the order for the Yellow Jackets here in the 5th inning. And McGahan keeps his place on the mound for Trinity. until he went 2, and now McGahan out for his third frame. Gets strike 1 against Derek Gifford. First time he's facing off against the first-year shortstop for the Yellow Jackets. And he's got him in the hole here, 0-2.
Struck out and flew out to left. And yeah, maybe not too much of a surprise to see McGahan still out there. He's 33 pitches through 2 innings.
And 3 pitches is all he needs there to strike out Gifford, who's now down on strikes for the second time in the game. Here's someone, though, that's had a much better evening. Trevor Fletcher, 2 for 2 with a double and a single and a 600 average in the young season. He gets a hold of this one as well. It should be playable for Colt Harris, and it is. Tigers number 2 fires it over to Jack Vonderar for out number 2. Just 4 pitches thrown so far for McGahan.
Might see him back out there for the 6th at this rate.
Villarreal stands in now. Struck out looking in the 3rd and grounded out to shortstop his first time up. There's ball 1 from McGahan. Led the team in hitting last season. Hit .377, plated 8 runs. That was in there for strike 1. Season before that, Howard Payne were led by the aptly named Noah Payne. Ended up being a 3rd-team All-American, batting .401 with 44 RBI. And they weren't quite able to replace his production as hard as Villarreal tried last season. Joey Villarreal here, down in the count 1-2. And kept himself from swinging at that offering that came in low and away. McGahan still operating with a sub-1 ERA as a Tiger. Last season kept it at .96 in 4 appearances. He gets a fly ball out towards Meredith, who brings it in comfortably. And McGahan makes light work of the Yellow Jackets in the 5th, bringing Trinity back up to that in just a moment, up 7-0. We see Josh Muxingham, the astronomer, getting a good look at the... What do you think, Josh? Is it waxing or waning gibbous?
That's too many technical questions.
Herrera looking to get his first hit of the evening, unable to do so. He prefers a full moon, I think, Josh. 0 for 4 now.
He'd use something different here as he's off to a struggling start, 2021.
Was Wisniewski, who started off the 4th inning with a leadoff triple and came around to score. Also came around to score after reaching on an error in the 1st. He digs in now. Versatile infielder. His 4th season on campus. That one just misses for Taylor. He came into a difficult situation and worked his way out of it, despite the balk called against him. He's dropped a couple here low in the zone. Or low beneath the zone, as it's a 2-0 count for Wisniewski. Action in the pen there for the Yellow Jackets. Got a righty getting warmed up. They've used 3 first-year pitchers now. This one, Taylor, fires wide of the zone for ball number 3. We haven't seen the experienced Xavier Hines as of yet in game number 1 or 2 for the Yellow Jackets. He is listed on the roster as coming back for a 5th year. As Wisniewski going to reach on a 4-pitch walk here from Taylor. And that brings up Mason Meredith, who had a sac fly last time up. Also popped out and flew out. Getting under the ball. See if he can give one a ride here with a runner on base.
0 for 2, but he's stolen a hit earlier. Playing center field.
Had 1 home run last season, 6 the year before that, including that famous grand slam. He's been a consistent presence near the top of the order for Trinity for 3 years now. Not only that, of course, providing excellent defense in the outfield. Get a few highlight reel catches from him every year. And technically still just a redshirt junior, so we could even see him back next year. As he grounds this one back, this could be 2. Taylor flips it to second, and the throw is in time, and the unenthusiastic umpire's call there has Meredith down on the double play ball. So Trinity held scoreless in the 5th. So we'll get a quick look at this defensive play from the Yellow Jackets. And how I feel about that is about how the umpire felt about it. We'll be right back with you for the 6th. New man on the mound here for Trinity as McGahan heads into the dugout. Ethan Clark making his first appearance in maroon, the first-year righty out of Cypress, Texas. He'll be facing off against Box, who's 1 for 2, singled his last time up.
Three for 5 on the year.
See a big motion on the windup from Ethan Clark, including a pretty nifty leg kick. Sam McWhirter not here to fully analyze it as we like.
And that one will catch Box on the helmet.
Umpire catching that one. Not the best start for Ethan Clark if he looks to settle in at the collegiate level. We'll bring up the number 5 hitter, McKay. Jonathan McKay out of League City. Not a good first game so far, 0 for 2 today. And play at second base as the ball got away from Pettit. Throw down not in time as Herrera applied the tag. Box now on second.
Yeah, Box with a heads-up piece of base running to get into scoring position.
That's a 1-0 count as Pettit flashes the signs towards Clark.
That one will miss outside as well. Now 2-0.
Runners in scoring position so far. Howard Payne 2 of 11. Or that's just with runners on, excuse me. With runners in scoring position, slightly worse, 1 of 7. As McKay fouls this one off, that'll be the first strike against him here. Two and 1. Clark shakes off the first sign from Pettit. And what they ultimately decided on, I don't think, was that, as it comes in pretty far outside. Trinity almost to their average runs per game. They averaged 8.5 last season, and they gave up 5 a game as well. So far, holding the Yellow Jackets scoreless through 5 innings. Some of their best arms on the mound doing so, Natoli and McGahan getting the job done. And now a challenge for first-year Ethan Clark to keep it up. He's got a full count here, working against McKay. Wind up and the pitch, and I think he just overthrew that one, and it comes out of the hand late into the dirt for ball 4. So 2 on now, as Clark working himself into a little bit of a situation as Riley McGee digs in. 1 for 1 on the day. Singled in the second, walked in the fourth. And a quick talking to here for Clark on the mound. So you get a great look at the luscious locks of Tyler Pettit flowing out from beneath the helmet. Seth Jones-esque, Josh?
It's getting pretty close. Although, when you talk about Seth Jones' hair, it's becoming legendary status. There was action in the Trinity bullpen for a brief moment, but seemed to have stopped.
They're sticking with Clark here. He's got himself into a bit of a jam. with a hit batsman and a walk. His 10th offering of the evening is on the way, and it'll be towards Riley McGee. A little too close to him as it comes inside for ball one. And Pettit going to have another chat with Ethan Clark. Not always easy to build rapport between pitcher and catcher. Pettit doing his best to make life simple for the first-year pitcher on the mound. So they agree on a sign here, and the 1-0 comes up high and inside. And now 3 runners on base, courtesy of Ethan Clark.
2 hit batsmen. 11 pitches. He's only had 3 strikes so far.
And with no outs here, Howard Payne really threatening. And Dave Smith going to come out and take the ball from Ethan Clark. So with the pitching change, we'll take a short break and be right back with you. We're here in the top of the 6th, 7-0 Trinity. Howard Payne threatening. It'll be Brandon Hance on the mound with the notable submarine delivery. You see that on one of his warm-up pitches there. I say that would have counted as a strike. The senior coming back this year for his 5th season in San Antonio, Tucson, Arizona. He's made 19 appearances over the first 4 seasons. Just a couple of starts. He's got 3 wins and 3 losses to his name and a 5.85 cumulative ERA. Strikes out a lot though, especially in his first year. Struck out 16 per 9 innings. Only pitched 3 innings, but it sounds cooler when you say it that way.
Definitely.
But over the course of his career, he's struck out just about 9 per 9. And the pass ball here means Howard Payne will get on the scoreboard. 7-1 now. And what so far has been an inning to forget for Tiger pitching. Hance trying to cover. Also missed the catch before going down to apply the tag. So it's 7-1, runners on second and third. Still nobody out here in the 6th. And a 2-0 count for Luke Brock.
Yeah, even without the base runners, this would be the best 6th inning for Howard Payne this season, as it's first time they've been able to get to the 6th inning.
And so far missing the zone on his first 3 pitches, as Luke Brock looking for something to kickstart his season at the plate. Pressure's on the pitcher here. And he misses. 4-pitch walk to Brock. And the bases are loaded once again. Don't look now, but Trinity pitching themselves into a couple of spots of bother here and giving Howard Payne some lifelines as Paleo steps in. Doubled back in the second inning. Double here would bring around at least 2. San Antonio native back in his hometown. And that one just below the zone. Another ball from Brandon Hance.
And if you're Trinity, you're hoping for a double play ball. And Howard Payne looking to break it open here in the 6th. Try to get back into this one.
Yeah, and if you're a friend of Brandon Hance, you're looking for maybe the mustache to go soon. It's behind in the count here once again, 2-0.
Some trying times during this COVID season.
Trying times for Tiger pitching at the moment. Can't find the zone, 3-0. Nowhere to put him.
Happy with the production they got out of Natoli and McGahan, but the excursion to the pen has not gone so well.
So you see Hance in conversation with Smith. He's got nowhere to put Paleo. He's behind in the count, 3-0. He rubs some dirt on it. Paleo steps back in.
7 pitches, all balls for Hance.
Needs a strike here. The 3-0. Drops off for ball 4. He's got so much sinking action on the fastball that so far it's been dropping out of the zone.
And you saw that shoulder shrug there from Pettit as it wasn't a bad pitch.
Problem was that it followed 3 bad pitches.
And that's where the trouble is.
We'll see if Hance can bounce back here or if Howard Payne can continue this resurgence here. Still nobody away in the 6th. Bases loaded for a pinch hitter, Carson Wirt.
His first appearance today, RBI and a run scored in their previous game.
He's another one out of a high school named Trinity Christian Academy. Saw Euless Trinity earlier. Hance doing much better in this at bat. Ahead in the count, 0-2. Sidewinder comes and deals just outside, 1-2.
Good location there for Hance.
Wirt, the pinch hitter, in no position to go chasing. Here's the 1-2, and he did go chase that one as it dipped below his bat, and Hance gets out number 1 here in the 6th. And that's more of what they would have expected from the senior coming into this game. Took him a few batters to get settled in. As we're back to the top of the order now with Derek Gifford. Gifford gets a hold of this one, sends it into the left field gap. This one's going to be trouble as it heads into the corner. 1 run comes around to score. 2 runs now, and they'll hold Paleo at third base. Now Howard Payne back within 3 runs, 7-4. And Gifford getting it done there, the leadoff hitter. Sending this one into the corner.
Yeah, nice job by Gifford. He just went with the pitch that was given. We got a ball game back on our hands. 7-4 now. Still runners in scoring position. Just one down here in the top of the 6th.
Hance gets Fletcher to pop that one foul. Fletcher 2 for 3 on the day, single, double, and a ground out. Hitting .500 in the young season. One of the few out-of-state players on the roster for Howard Payne.
Had 2 RBI in his first game, and base hit will equal that total here today.
Hance misses that time, 1-1. This one chopped into the ground, and it goes through the middle of the Tiger infielders. There may be a play at the plate here. There isn't. There's a play at second base instead where they record out number 2. Not before Howard Payne gets within 2, 7-5.
Yeah, and a nice job by Fletcher. He's been doing it all day. Now 3 for 4 on the day. He gets his 4th RBI, number 3 and 4 on the season. Just a chop single back up the middle. And a good job by Pettit to relay that back over. Fletcher probably a little too opportunistic trying to run in. And I say that because that would have been 2 on with 1 down after Villarreal gets hit by Hance's first pitch.
It's the 3rd hit batter from Trinity pitching
in
this half inning, yeah.
And
the wheels have come off a little bit, 7-6.
Yeah, 7-6. Once the scoreboard updates, so it's tied into the official stats. So
all 6 coming here in the 6th.
Right back into a game, and
Hance gets the all-important first strike there as Box is back in. Junior 1 for 2.
Howard Payne now a run away from tying this game, and more interestingly enough would take us out of throw back over to first. And Box is back in, or excuse me, Villarreal is back in ahead of Pettit's throwback. We knew that Tiger pitching was going to be limited early on, and so knowing that your starter's not going to go a full 5, it gives the scorer's decision to who might get the victory. But that was in play when the game was 7-0, and it's less in play now that the game is 7-6.
Box started off the 6th inning rally by being hit by a pitch. And he hits this 1-1 offering from Hance, foul. Opportunity still here to tie it up in the 6th after Howard Payne looked really lifeless at the plate for a majority of the game. They were getting a few hits, not really putting anything together prior to this inning, in which Tiger pitching has really helped them out. And Hance will end the bleeding here in the 6th with his 2nd strikeout. And not before the Yellow Jackets add 6 and draw back within 1. Tiger bats will look to respond when we return. Gary Blair, the man on the mound to face the middle of the Tiger order, who need to respond after giving up 6 in the top half of the inning. And who better to be at the plate to start us off than Michael Goodrich, 1 for 2 on the day, reached on a double and on a walk last time up in the 4th. Already scored a couple of runs. Looking to get on base here against the first-year pitcher, 4th first-year pitcher used by head coach Stephen Lynn this evening. A young pitching staff for the Yellow Jackets this year. Goodrich gets a hold of this one, and he sends it back, and Box can only watch. The first home run of 2021 for Trinity goes to Michael Goodrich, the leadoff jack here in the bottom of the 6th. And he knew right from the moment it came off the bat.
Career home run number 19 for Goodrich.
And career RBI number 100 as he hits the milestone here on the solo home run.
Just no doubt about that one.
And not how Gary Blair wanted to start his first collegiate outing on the mound for Howard Payne. And now he's got to face off against Jack Vonderhaar, looking to inflict some more pain against the Yellow Jackets.
2 for 3 today. 2 singles, back in the 1st and the 4th. Flew out to left, back in the 3rd.
Both pitches coming in high for Vonderhaar. Picked up where he left off last season. The windup and the pitch, and Vonderhaar looking to go back-to-back. He flips the bat, and it's just over the national championship banner in right field. Goodrich and Vonderhaar go back-to-back to start the 6th, and to answer the Howard Payne runs in the top of the inning. How about that? Back-to-back home runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Can Pettit? Maybe. Make it number 3.
The best bat flip that we've seen in a long time.
You see the face of Gary Blair looking back, thinking, please no, please no. And Vonderhaar knew from the moment it left his bat, and that'll be it for Gary Blair as Landon Blass comes into the game in relief. Hot start here to the bottom of the 6th. 2 home runs for Trinity. They've got the lead 9-6. We'll be right back. So Landon Blass on in relief. The sophomore takes the mound following back-to-back moonshots for Trinity. And I'm not talking about Josh Maxagimba zooming in on celestial bodies as Pettit looked to make it back-to-back-to-back. Goodrich and Vonderhart going yard and forcing Coach Stephen Lynn's hand and bringing in a little more experience on the mound. Landon Blass, the sophomore, appeared in 7 games last season. Bounced that one in ahead of McGee. Had a 9.95 ERA in 6 1/3 innings pitched. Struck out 7, walked 6. Here's the 1-1 offering to Pettit. Pettit again with eyes for the left field wall. Swings right through the off-speed offering, and it's 1-2. That one well outside from Blass. Comes out of MacArthur High School in Irving, Texas. Pettit watches the 2-2 offering go by for ball 3. Howard Payne had momentarily pulled within 1 run. For the Tigers again keeping them at arm's reach here in the bottom of the 6th. The payoff pitch fouled off by Pettit. Blass tries once again with the 3-2 offering, and it comes up above the letters, so Pettit takes a walk. His second of the game, in addition to a couple of sac flies. And here comes Rafe Chomet. The home run streak may have been broken, but here's someone that can reignite the long ball. Two of two already on the day. And was also hit by a pitch back in the first. 2 runs batted in for 5th-year Rafe so far through 5 innings. Blass comes with the first pitch inside. Chomet with the pants just at the ankles, as we've become accustomed to, the number 1 on his back. Gets a look at this one, and he sends it high and deep. Well, not deep. Deep in the infield. And it's a pop-up. Caught by Wirt. I was just expecting it, Josh.
You can't tell whether or not it's going deep from inside underneath the bleachers of the Bell Athletic Center. It's a very tough angle.
I have to say, I rely on the bat flip index to know just how well the hitter thinks they've got a hold of it. Here's someone without a plate appearance to his name so far through 5 innings. Schaub digs in once again. He's got 3 walks and an RBI to his name so far in his first appearance for Trinity. Brian Schaub, listed as a DH/outfield/first baseman, playing in left field today. So you can see all those characters crammed in underneath the number 42.
I just see HOF, Hall of Fame.
Certainly shown a high level of batter's eye, as he's once again ahead in the count 2-0. Schaub still looking for something to hit. And that one comes in high, 3-0. If this keeps up, Josh, they're going to roll me out there in Schaub's place. Although I have to say, I don't think I fill out the jersey as well.
No. Although Schaub doesn't need to take a bat up at this point. It's just excessive equipment.
4 walks for Schaub. And now 2 on base for Trinity, looking to add to this 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th.
Stellar on-base percentage.
And Colt Harris comes up with just 1 away this time. But again, 2 runners on base, as he has in each of his first 3 plate appearances. Got a walk, ground out, and a fly out so far. Schaub on first, Pettit on second. First offering from Landon Blass is inside. Faced 3 batters so far, 2 walks. Though you have to say it, he's fared better than his teammate that came before him, who faced 2 batters, gave up 2 home runs.
Rough outing for Blair, to say the least.
That one comes up inside as well. Blass looking to find the strike zone against Colt Harris. Herrera waits on deck. He's 0 for 4. He and Meredith, surprisingly, in addition to Pettit and Schwab, the only ones without a hit. Pettit and Schwab, though, contributing with walks. As you see Pettit in the foreground of your screen on second base from a base on balls.
Pettit with a couple of sac flies as well.
3-0 count here for Colt Harris. Looking for his second free pass of the evening. Won't get it there. That one right down the middle from Landon Blass. Check of the runner at second. And he deals low, and it squeaks away from the catcher. Won't matter as the runners advance. And the bases are loaded once again now for the top of the Tiger order. What better opportunity to get off the early schneid than this for Michael Herrera. Reached on an error in the first. Flew out in the second and third. And popped out in the 5th.
It's a great thing about the game of baseball is you can have a rough day until that one time that you make it a great day.
Takes strike 1 from Landon Blass.
Can change your entire fortunes around on one swing.
The 0-1 way outside. Good work from McGee just to keep it in front of him. As Pettit waits 90 feet away on third. The windup and the 1-1 again outside. Does find the outside corner. Herrera not thrilled with the call. We've never met a batter too excited about a strike call. was coming way inside on Herrera, who swung out of self-defense, I think. May have plunked him on the arm had he not reared around to swing. Here comes the 2-2. And that one catch him on the way through? No. Be a full count. Similar area to the last pitch. Bases loaded here. Full count. One away in the 6th. Blas. His delivery is roped by Herrera and right to Wirt, who flips to Villarreal to end the inning, and it's just not Michael Herrera's night. We saw fireworks here in the bottom of the 6th from Goodrich and Von der Aar. That gets the Tiger lead back out to 3. So you see this line out double play, well turned by the Yellow Jackets. We'll be right back with you. You're watching the Tiger Network.
Top of the 7th inning as we return here to San Antonio. And be with you back on Friday and Sunday. And you can catch Southwestern's broadcast on Saturday for the doubleheader. And then at Hardin Simmons on next Tuesday. Brandon Hance back in. He came in relief in the 6th. And he'll start off against McKay. Okay, 0 for 2 so far today. Was 2 for 2 in the first game. 500 on the year and walked back in the 6th. Trinity with back-to-back homers in the bottom half of the 6th after the Yellow Jackets put up a 6 spot in the top half to make a 7-0 game very competitive. And Trinity pushing the lead back to 3. And the 1-2. McKay rolls that one over to Herrera. Comes up quickly, but McKay running down the line very well. And he will have a single, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think there was much Herrera could do with it. Would have taken some play to complete the out. We'll see how they score it. Although, at second look, he does bobble it initially.
Does bobble it initially. Again, calling from inside the studio, you don't see everything cleanly. And so we'll bring up McGee, and that one shot over to third on the low spot, and that will be a single I believe that one was just chopped and left into no man's land for Riley McGee, who is now 2 for 2. Just laid it right down the line. Wisniewski might have been better served to see if that one would just roll foul, but you never know. And quickly, 2 on.
Yeah, and I think Coach Smith gave Hans a chance here to come back out and right some wrongs from the 6th. So far, hasn't been able to do so.
They have scored McKay reaching on an error, and it hasn't posted yet, but I would imagine that McGee reaches on a base hit.
If so, the Yellow Jackets would be up to 8 of 26. That one's shot foul.
Oh, I'm sorry. McGee still at the plate, so they have ruled that the last one was a foul ball. So, as we mentioned, we don't get everything from the field. So now the 0-2. Runner at first. He's still 1 for 1 on the day. And so when I said Wisniewski probably would have been better off letting that one roll foul, then he did exactly what he needed to do. The 0-2. Nice movement on the slider, I believe, from Hans.
Just like that, and went from a situation with 2 runners on, nobody out, to a double play can get you out of the inning now for Hans. And with that submarine motion on the delivery, he'd be favorite to get a ground ball here from Luke Brock. If he is indeed going to be pitching, looks like
take one more look at that last pitch from Hans as we take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a bit.
Matt Thomas becomes the 5th Tiger pitcher tonight. He takes the mound against Luke Brock. And his first offering is in there for a strike. Runner on first and 1 away here in the top of the 7th as the 5th-year senior Matt Thomas comes into tonight's game with 31 career appearances, including 4 starts, a 4-3 record, in 48 innings pitched with a 7.95 career ERA. Just over 10 Ks per 9 innings. And a certain reputation in the fashion world. Pitch here, fouled off, 1-2. Scottsdale, Arizona native fires over to first on the pickoff play. And Jack Vonderar sent chasing. See just what happened on that pickoff movement. Comes off the glove of Vonderar. Still 1-2. Thomas comes set. And he gets strike 3. Swing and a miss for Brock. And 2 away here in the 7th. Thomas coming in just to the desired effect for Coach Smith and Coach Scannell. Needs 1 more to send us into the stretch. Paleo, the latest challenge as the runner goes. Pettit gets a good look at it, and the runner is safe. Just had to reach a little bit behind him there. Did Colt Harris. So Paleo will bat with a runner in scoring position. Both teams 3 of 10 so far in those scenarios. 2 of 8 though with 2 outs for the Yellow Jackets so far. Haven't been able to rally in key situations. Thomas's latest offering up near the head. 2-0. The 2-0 fouled off. Paleo on the night, 1 of 2. Also got an RBI on a walk in that big 6th inning for the Yellow Jackets. Thomas comes set, and the 2-1 off the end of the bat. Counts even. Pettit flashes the sign. Thomas looking to get out of the inning. And he will do so. Okay. Thought it was 2 strikes. 2-2 now.
Now it's 2 strikes.
Count will run full now. As that breaking ball too high. Just sitting here rethinking things after I was really convinced that that was strike 3. Payoff pitch is strike 3 as Thomas comes into the game, gets a couple of strikeouts swinging, and the Yellow Jackets go down, leaving a runner in scoring position once again. The lead stays at 3 for Trinity as we head into the 7th inning stretch here in San Antonio. Dean Evans on the mound for Howard Payne here after the 7th inning stretch. Hear the lovely tone of the bell tower as Wisniewski fouls that one off to start the at-bat. Dean Evans, the first-year pitcher out of Valley View High School. So of the 6 pitchers used tonight by the Yellow Jackets, 5 first years and 1 sophomore. And no sign of Xavier Hines, so we wonder maybe if there's injury issues or if they're saving him for their conference opener against University of Texas Dallas Comets coming up next for the Yellow Jackets. Would make sense. We've got a 3-game series against the Comets on the horizon, as Evans not the beneficiary of a call there, so it's 3-1. To Wisniewski is ball 4. Second straight walk for the senior infielder. And the Tigers have a base runner to begin the 7th. Bringing up Mason Meredith. Who's accounted for 5 outs and 1 run so far in his 4 plate appearances. Grounded into a double play last time.
He's hit the ball on 4 consecutive at-bats, though. Flew out to center, popped up to short, and flew out to right on a sacrifice fly before that double play over to short.
The 1-0 with Wisniewski staying on first. Got a decent lead there. Thought maybe he would go. Dean Evans certainly concerned about it as well. A couple checks of the runner before he deals inside to Meredith, 3-0. We've seen the effects of the youth on the mound for Howard Payne. At times just struggling to find the zone. And there'd certainly be some trepidation as well with the caliber of hitter at the plate for Trinity tonight. 3-1 now. Tiger lineup is proven bat after proven bat, all the way down to first-year Colt Harris in the 9 spot. Potential for back-to-back double plays from Meredith, but he beats it out, and it'll be a fielder's choice, as Meredith just rolled that one to short. Yellow Jackets unable to turn it, and you see Meredith not best pleased with his start to the season at the plate. This man will be. Michael Goodrich, fresh off a solo home run to lead off in the 6th. OPS looking healthy, Josh.
Very healthy. Flew out to third back in the first inning, and other than that, 3rd inning double, 4th inning walk, 6th inning home run, and he scored all 3 times. He's been on base. And as you mentioned, his home run giving him his career 100th RBI.
He's got a nice 2-0 count here as well, with 1 away and 1 on first base. Set up outside, and they go into the zone. So McGee was looking for the outside corner. Evans floated it over the middle of the plate. I believe it's 2-1. I could be wrong. I was wrong last inning. see if the umpire helps us out any. Maybe he flashes up the count. Either way, here's the offering. Flashed foul by Goodrich. In fairness, that was a swing that you would expect with 2 strikes, and it is 1 and 2. So maybe I'm just losing it here, Josh. It's almost my bedtime, past 10. And Goodrich, that one comes off the handle of the bat.
Yeah,
shoots it foul.
All the sports that we've had so far are nice, quick 2-hour affairs.
Includes basketball back underway this weekend alongside Trinity baseball. I'll be on the call for basketball. Josh, you're taking baseball as Goodrich shoots this one to third and a chance maybe to turn 2, but a good slide there from Meredith prevents it, and a fielder's choice will leave Goodrich on first. But you already mentioned Southwestern coming to town on Friday. Baseball-wise, Schreiner coming to town basketball-wise. Face both the men and women. Vonderhaar back in. His solo home run, going back-to-back with Goodrich in the previous inning. Goodrich now on first base. Vonderhaar picking up right where he left off. Searing hot. 2020. From the man playing first base today for Trinity. Swings right through that one, 1-1.
He's looking for a 2-home run night on that swing.
Wouldn't be his first, I don't believe.
Batted .383 in 12 games last year. .750 here today. As you mentioned, a couple of singles and that home run. Fights that one off. We were talking about Michael Goodrich with his 100th RBI, and one thing that we missed with the last hit that Rafe Shamet had, that was hit number 200 in his Trinity career.
Yeah, already leading Trinity with 14 career triples, and came into today 10th in school history with 140 career RBI. He's added to that a couple today.
Took a look at the SCAC record book.
As Vonderhaar goes down swinging. We'll talk about that when we come back for the 8th. Trinity can't add to their 3-run advantage. We head into the final 2 frames, 9-6 to the Tigers.
So
Matt Thomas keeps his place on the mound for Trinity, and why not after he faced two and struck them both out in the 7th. First pitch finds the outside corner against Carson Wirt. Came in as a pinch hitter earlier in the game, struck out. Has a run and an RBI to his name from the season opener against St. Thomas. Found himself behind in the count here, 0-2 quickly to Matt Thomas.
yeah, we were talking about Goodrich's 100 career RBI, and I was looking at the SCAC record book, and Millsaps and Garner Wetzel back in 2006 had 91 RBI in a single season. So nothing to take away from the accomplishment that Goodrich has had for 100 career RBI. But my goodness, 91 in a single year.
The 1-2, and it's a swinging strike 3. Pettit will have to make sure, throws down to first. And
Vonderhaar had to make the tag, and he didn't get it.
Tigers
he missed
get
the
that
ball.
one wrong, yeah.
So it's going to be another strikeout. So 3 strikeouts in 2/3 of an inning now for Matt Thomas, and the runner's going to reach on an error. So Wirt aboard, takes us back to the top of the order with Gifford.
2 strikeouts for Wirt, but finds himself on base nonetheless. And Gifford, who has the biggest hit of the day for Howard Payne. That came in his last plate appearance, first year. Who is listed as bats right. He's standing in batting lefty here, so maybe a switch hitter or maybe a clerical error on the roster.
Hard to tell when I was looking at the roster earlier. They didn't have information on the roster lineup card.
After 2 strikeouts and a flyout, he came up big for the Yellow Jackets in the 6th, driving home 2 runs on the double into the left field corner.
Pretty big at bat here for Gifford. So he has Fletcher waiting on behind him.
And it ends prematurely as Matt Thomas is now seen for and he's fanned for. Coming out dealing here in relief. Here's his toughest task so far, and that is retiring Trevor Fletcher, who is 3 for 4 on the day with 2 RBI, a couple singles and a double, as well as a ground out in the 5th. Ton of movement on that breaking ball. Thomas a little preoccupied with the runner who's stayed put on first base. An early advantage for the DH Fletcher. That one just misses the inside part of the plate. So you see 4 RBI already in the young season for Trevor Fletcher. And he gets a hold of this one, but he sends it foul. If the Yellow Jackets can plate 1 or 2 here in this inning, it could set up for an exciting final frame. Due up for Trinity in the bottom of the 8th will be Pettit, Shamet, and Schaub. Runner goes here, and they're going to avoid the double play because of that. It was a hit-and-run situation, and it advances the runner as Fletcher is retired for the 2nd time today. So 6, 7, 8 do it for Trinity, who will look to add some insurance to this 3-run advantage. Although they'll feel confident with Matt Thomas pitching the way he is on the mound. Check of the runner at second, who gives him a head fake, and it's chopped towards short. This should do it for the inning. Herrera coming in, fires to first, and he got him, and the umpire was a little more emphatic on that one than he was earlier in the game. Matt Thomas putting in a stellar performance in relief on the mound for Trinity, who leads 9-6, headed into the bottom of the 8th.
Everything that was being played has gone final around the country, except for right here in San Antonio. So, as we mentioned earlier, Birmingham Southern defeating Huntington 10-6, and Fisher 10-3 over Anna Maria. And McMurray and Angelo State. Angelo State's ready to play some baseball. They win 29-5. And North Carolina Wesleyan over Ferrum 10-8. And East Texas Baptist took the first game of the doubleheader 9-0, and they were up 7-2. And Laterno comes back, and they win 10-7. That won a final in 8 innings. They split the doubleheader up in East Texas, and Piedmont 15-1 over Oglethorpe. Take you around the Division III scoreboard as we get ready for the bottom of the 8th.
And for Piedmont, their senior pitcher Carpenter setting a new program record for strikeouts with 10 on the day. Exciting for him. I'm sure we'll see a lot of records broken here as players come back for a 5th season. He's now got 271 in his career. Reese Glenn, a little more green than that. The first-year pitcher from the Woodlands comes in with the sidearm delivery high for ball 1. Legacy Prep High School facing off against Tyler Pettit, who has walked twice and has 2 sac flies. This one looks to go for a base hit, and it does. Drops in front of box in left field. 1 of 1 now on the day for Tyler Pettit.
Next up is right fielder number 1, Rafe Showman.
And here comes the newly minted 200 hit man, Rafe Chaumette. 2 of 3 today. Takes him to exactly 200 hits. He'll look to add number 201 here as he digs in against Reese Glenn.
His 2 RBI on the season, give him 142 in his career.
Good framing job that time from McGee. Gets strike 1.
They came in as roommates. 242 RBI amongst the roommates. It's not bad.
Say a successful recruiting class for Trinity as Chaumette sends this one potentially to double play territory. But the throw is errant, and it'll be yet another fielder's choice. We've seen quite a few recently.
Couple of failed double plays. Not that all of them have been obtainable.
And good work from Glenn to get the fairly routine ground ball out of Chaumette. They return to Gifford at first base. Was impeded by the slide.
Yeah, tough play for Gifford to try to get back. You don't want to backpedal into first there.
And Schaub at bat watch continues as he's now
Hey, he didn't walk.
come up 5 times, and he has, well, he's walked 5 times. He's walked over to first base. He reached on a base of balls the first 4 times, and this time a light jog after the pitch taps his elbow. I got a feeling he's going to have to wait until the next game for a plate appearance, Josh.
He's been on base 5 times in his career. He's still looking for a at-bat.
It's remarkable scenes as Colt Harris digs in with 2 men on base. I think I've said that a few times today. They look to pick off Chomet.
I feel like that might be the entire night.
And that goes back to balancing the order the way that Trinity has. Coach Scannell putting Chomet down in the 7 spot, and that's led to opportunities for Colt Harris in his debut for Trinity. Couple of walks, ground out, and the fly out, looking to add his first hit to the collection here.
If you're a fan of D3 baseball in general, we've got a great game tomorrow up in Austin. Concordia hosting Texas Lutheran.
As Harris sends this one towards the first baseman, it's going to be a race to the bag, and it's a race that Gifford wins. It advances the runners to second and third, now 2 away as Herrera going to get his 6th plate appearance. I know someone who's jealous, Josh.
At this point, Herrera hoping that 6th is the lucky number.
0 for 5 so far. Did come around to score after an error in the first inning.
He's put the ball in play nicely quite a few times. Most of them have just been right at people.
That's how you know it's coming. Be a great opportunity here to put the game theoretically out of reach for the Yellow Jackets. Single would extend the lead most likely to 5. All of the Yellow Jacket runs coming in a disastrous 6th inning from a Trinity perspective. Herrera fouls that one off. Working with a 1-1 count here, up against Reese Glenn. Fouls that one off. And it's 1-2. Wisniewski on deck. Herrera at the plate, looking for his first hit of the season. McGee sets up outside, and they do go outside and high, evening up the count at 2-2. Chomet on third, Schaub on second. Herrera waiting for the 2-2 delivery from Reese Glenn. Here it comes, and Herrera fouls this one off. It may stay in play. 3 Yellow Jackets coming together towards the ball. None of them able to bring it in. Herrera stays alive.
Herrera hit .349 a year ago. 15 of 43, 13 runs scored, 3 home runs on the year.
He's going to see a payoff pitch here as that one comes in outside for Glenn. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Trinity leading 9-6. Here in the season opener, it's Howard Payne.
And I should mention all of that was in 12 games last year.
And he will reach base for the first time today, loading up the bases for Jack Wisniewski.
Next up, the third baseman, number 11, Jack Wisniewski.
1 for 3 on the day, but he scored a couple of runs.
Big leadoff triple in the fourth was his tally in the hit column. And I don't think he's going to be facing Reese Glenn. We'll see. As looks like Coach Robert Anders out there to talk it over with him on the mound. Anders, a former player for Howard Payne. Likewise, his boss, head coach Stephen Lynn, played 2 years for the Yellow Jackets for signing on as head coach in 2005. As we mentioned early on the broadcast, he's gotten them back in a position to contend in the ASC after quite a few years out of the postseason. They've made 5 of the last 6, only missing out the 2018 tournament, and they won the regular season in 2019 off the bat of Ncaa Payne, the 3rd-team All-American.
And while we get a pitching change, just our thoughts out to the Howard Payne extended family of James Crow, former player and coach who passed away earlier this month. At a young age, played for the Yellow Jackets back in 2015 and had leukemia. So our thoughts definitely with his friends and family.
Coming into the game to pitch for the Yellow Jackets is Johnny Cravey. It's about to get crazy. We'll be right back for the conclusion of the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded. Trinity looking to extend the 3-run lead in just a moment. So the base runners take their positions, first, second, and third, all occupied here for Trinity as Johnny Cravey comes in, try and get out of the jam. Jack Wisniewski at the plate. Trinity ahead by 3, looking to extend the advantage heading into the final frame. Cravey, a sophomore. Left-handed pitcher takes the mound here. First offering is high for ball 1. Hails from Huntsville, Texas. The 1-0. In a hittable area for Wisniewski, but he grounds it foul down the first base line. He's coming off back-to-back walks in the 5th and 7th. So we're we're going to get a change of ball here, I think. Cravey not satisfied with the equipment. Let's switch it out for him. One and one here for the Tigers, number 11. And the offering is high once again. Trinity looking to extend a winning streak against the ASC to 7 games over 3 seasons as Wisniewski fouls off another one. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. It won't be an easy winning streak to keep up throughout this year, especially against Concordia, who is a big competitor for a regional title, if that will exist this season. Wisniewski fouls another one off, staying alive. There's the latest edition of the 2-2 pitch from Johnny Cravey. And it is grounded to first base. It's going to be a foot race to the bag. And it's one that is won by Gifford to end the inning. Tigers strand 3. And they lead by 3 heading into the final frame. Don't go anywhere as we get set for the conclusion of this one. Trinity 9, Howard Payne 6 after 8. Matt Thomas keeps his place on the mound for Trinity, looking to close this one out and hold on to this 3-run advantage, secure a 4th straight opening night victory for the Tigers. His first offering is fouled off by Box, the left fielder. He's gone 1 of 3, got a single and was hit by a pitch, hitting .500 at the moment in the young season. Have scored 3 runs, so not a bad man to get up to the plate. He'll have to score if Howard Payne are going to get back into this. That one just misses. All 6 runs for the Yellow Jackets coming in the 6th inning. When the Tigers burned through a couple of pitchers and really were their own worst enemy with walks and hit batsmen. But Matt Thomas has responded to those issues by coming in and throwing strikes and getting strikeouts. So ahead in the count here, 1-2. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts. Looking for number 5, but that pitch comes in high. And this one, Box is able to get a hold of it, sends it towards Herrera, double clutches on the throw, but it still gets there in time. 1 away here in the 9th. Solid defense that time by the Tiger shortstop. Backing up Matt Thomas. Fields what was ultimately a very softly hit line drive. Fires over for out number 1. Brings up the number 5 hitter, McKay. Takes strike 1, Jonathan McKay. 0 for 3 with a walk. Not able to follow up a strong opening night performance thus far. He's got a 1-1 count here with 1 away in the 9th. The 1-1 offering from Thomas fouled off the end of the bat by McKay. Thomas unable to get McKay to bite on the outside offering at 1 2, so the count runs even. And another ground ball. This one should be dealt with, but it rolls foul. Looked like it was headed for Matt Thomas himself. They'll go again. Thomas comes set, and the 2-2. Here is a ground ball that should be playable. Bounces over the head of the pitcher, and Colt Harris makes a good play on it, but his throw comes just late. And so Howard Payne has a base runner here in the 9th. McKay able to beat that one out.
Yeah, we saw McKay use his speed in his last at-bat. When Herrera had an error, but we'll take a look at that one real quick. Or after this pitch.
First pitch comes in as a strike. Here's a look at that chopped ground ball just over the outstretched glove of Thomas, fielded by Harris.
Yeah, McKay's just got speed. Easily legged that one out.
And just too high. Dealt to Riley McGee. 500 on the year with a couple of runs scored. He's got a single, walk, and was hit by a pitch before he struck out looking to Matt Thomas. Strike 2. And the 1-2 is grounded once again. This one could be 2. This could end the game for Trinity, and it will. That'll do it as Matt Thomas comes in and gets the job done in relief for Trinity, finishing it off by inducing a double play ball. So the Tigers win 9-6. We don't need the bottom half of the 9. Get one quick look at the double play ball that ended this contest. McGee chops it over to Harris, flips it to Herrera, and plenty of time for Van der Aar at first base. And Josh, if you want to take us through the happy totals here as the Tigers win their opener.
We'll start off with Howard Payne and some of the notables that they had. Fletcher was 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and one of their 3 doubles. Gifford, 1 for 5, but he had 2 RBIs and a run scored, had one of the other doubles. And Paleo was 1 for 3, an RBI and a run scored, had the 3rd double. They had 8 total hits and through 8 different pitchers. And on the home side, the superlatives, I think you got to start with Goodrich and Vonderhaar. Not only did they go back-to-back, but combined they were 5 for 9 and scored 6 runs. 2 for 4 for Goodrich, had 3 runs scored and an RBI, and also had a double to go along with his homer. Vonderhaar, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. And Shamet was 2 for 4 as well, 2 RBI. Pettit was 1 for 1 with 2 RBI. And we'll give a shout-out to Schaub. He was 0 for 0, 5 reaches to first base, 4 walks and a hit by pitch. He also had an RBI. And Natoli with a strong 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, had 2 strikeouts. McGahan, he comes in, 3 innings pitched. This was pretty much by design. Natoli and McGahan not going to go more than 3 innings apiece. McGahan, 2 hits allowed, had 3 strikeouts. He's going to get credited with the win today. And then, as we said, Matt Thomas came in, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts. He's going to get the save, his first of the season. And a strong start here for the Tigers. They had a bit of a hiccup there in the 6th inning, giving up 6 runs to the Yellow Jackets. But pretty much what you would expect for the team coming out. They were able to get some of the rust off. Saw a little bit of the power from the Tigers. And I think this sets them up nicely for the non-conference series with Southwestern on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep, excited for it. And for the first time since March 11th, we have a Trinity baseball win. They take this one 9-6. I'm Ryan Figert, and I've been joined by Josh Maxagimba. We thank you for your time tuning in here at the Tiger Network, and we'll see you this weekend.
I'm Delaney Kelly, and I'm a senior on Trinity's women's golf team.
Hi, I'm Anton Noble, a junior tight end for the Trinity football team.
Hi, I'm Caleb Harmel, a sophomore linebacker for the Trinity football team.
I'm Bryce Pigeon, a senior on the Trinity golf team.
My name is Carly Jones. I'm a senior second baseman for the Trinity softball team.
Hi, I'm Emma Funk, a junior middle blocker for the Trinity volleyball team.
Hi, I'm Tyler Peavy, a graduate senior on the Trinity men's basketball team.
Hi, I'm Neil Verwillow, a senior left back on the Trinity men's soccer team.
Hi, I'm Brian Cardone, a senior right-handed pitcher and utility infielder for the Trinity baseball team.
Hi, I'm Madison Horner, a junior midfielder for the Trinity women's soccer team.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Hi, I'm Mabel.
I'm Shamsi.
And I'm Casey, and we're part of the Trinity swim and dive team.
Hey, I'm Annie Wise.
I'm Julia Ackerman.
And I'm Jordan Rudd. And we are members of the Trinity University women's basketball program.
Hi, I'm Wilson Hamilton, a senior captain for the Trinity men's tennis team.
I'm Christian Settles, junior captain for the men's tennis team.
Hi, I'm Mary Captain.
I'm Annie Wise.
I'm Zoe Captain.
And I'm Megan Flores. And we are members of the Trinity University women's tennis program.
Hi, I'm Trinity Lemons, a senior sprinter and jumper for the Trinity track and field team. I'm super excited to share with you an important event that we're promoting. It's called the Trinity Buddies United as One fundraiser.
All of our Tiger sports teams are competing on the court or in the field this spring, but we're also competing to see which team can raise the most money for disadvantaged families in the surrounding school district.
We'd love your support in trying to reach our goal of $11,000. So you can check out our social media for ways to donate, including this Venmo.
You can also buy exclusive Trinity Buddy bracelets for $5 as a part of the fundraiser. Make sure when you Venmo to add what color you want and which team it's going towards. Thank you so much for your support.
Go Tigers!
Thank you for your support.
Go to you!
Go Tigers.
Thank you for your support, and go Tigers.
Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much for your support. Go Tigers.